Hello, it's my great pleasure to welcome you here in Prague. This is the first time when our conference moved abroad of Poland. It was experiment. It seems that experiment is very successful. So I would like to introduce people who participated in this experiment. First of all, it's a colleague of mine, co-chairs of FedCSiS conference series, Leszek Mateuszek. Marcin Paprzycki. And myself, Maria Ganja. I would like also introduce people who take care about this place, about all many different elements which join to the success of this conference. It's our host right now. It's a chair of organizing committee FedCSiS 2017, Jan Waloszek. And we would like to thank you for all hard business which you have done during this year to organize these issues, this year issues of our conference. Right now I would like to introduce here and give a microphone Vice Rector for Research, this university, Professor Zbynek.
Good morning. It's my great pleasure to extend the welcome from Professor Petr Konvalinka, Director of Czech Technical University, to all of you. I know very little about information theory, but what I know is that information is very important and combining information makes new information. So I hope that combining information here in this building will bring a lot of new information for you and for the well-being of mankind, which is, after all, one of the key principles of IEEE, which is one of the sponsors of the conference. Welcome here in Prague. Have a nice day and a beautiful conference.
I also would like to invite here and introduce you one of the let's say sponsors of our conference. It's a president of ICT Uni. It's a Czech organization which joined more than 70 companies, Czech companies. Robert Ledvinka.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. And because my English isn't good for your conference, excuse me, because I will read my text. In the introduction, let me thank you for the opportunity to perform today at this very important event. ICT Union is the largest professional organization in the Czech Republic in the field of ICT. We represent more than 70 largest business companies operating both the telecommunication and IT sectors. Our members are both corporate and national companies that make up more than 80% of the all ICT supply and service market. Our honorary members are colleges. For example, our current host. I would like to express our conviction of the great importance of today's conference. We all wait many very important tasks. If we are unable to prepare for these tasks in a good and timely manner, Europe will not longer be able to compete in the world market. Why? Because we have a new technological revolution. We talk about the Internet of Things, Industry 4.0, digital economy, and other topics. But without the active and responsible close cooperation with the academic sphere, no state will be able to compete. Adequate response to technological development is the task of every political representation, but also of the private sphere. And every wise politician knows that just the knowledge political potential of the academic sphere, along with the practical knowledge of the private sphere, can provide these difficult tasks. We consider your conference to be crucial for this very reason. Its aim is not only to exchange experiences and new perspectives on solutions, but also to mediate these outcomes and influence on political representations, so that both executives and legislators in all countries understand the extreme risk of underestimating this importance of ICT for the everyday life of our citizens. The ICT industry cannot accomplish this role but itself, as its aims are largely perceived only by the price of profit. But we know that the academic sphere has this power. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish your conference a lot of successes, whether it is full of new experience and new insights, and will also succeed in the event again emphasizing the necessity of timely and quality solution of these topics. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, so let me start slides about our conference, about structure of our conference this year. This year we have 25 events under the umbrella of FedCSiS conference. You can see here on slide that we organize all these events in several let's say, several important fields of our conference. It's artificial intelligence, IT for business, it's a security, network system and application, software system development, and the one special event, it's event for doctor study students. It's a special event to provide them in a possibility to try their himself in this conference. During our conference there are a couple of very special events. First of all, it's Professor Zbigniew Pawlak Awards. It's a best paper and best student papers. You will know who are winner during the banquet on Tuesday. This is the 12th time we organize this competition. And one more event is a data mining competition. This is the third time. This year, data mining competition was devoted efficient prediction model, which would help AI to play the game of Hearthstone. I don't know if I was right in pronunciation. You can hear the presentation of the base solution during session on Wednesday at 8 p.m. It's the start of the session. I would like to say that this year this is the biggest competition. This year is the biggest competition within the previous one. It was registered 296 teams. Unfortunately, only 188 participated in the competition and sent the report. As far as I know, the jury received more than 4,000 reports. You can see here the announcement that you can try yourself against iBots. Right now I mean, not right now, but during the break, of course, in the coffee break hall, you can see the stand with the name of, it's a bot or is a team Grail? Project, okay, Grail. So they have a computer and you can try yourself against these iBots. And it's end from my side, and I would like to invite here a colleague of mine, Leszek Mateusz. He will tell you more about statistics of our conference. It's very important.
I am probably the most hated person by many of chairs sitting here, because I have been looking at the quality. I have Do we have a slide? We don't have a slide. And, oh, we do. We do, sorry. 497 submissions. I probably look at almost all reviews done by the reviewers. We had at least 2 reviews for each paper, and in some cases it was many, many more. In particular, event chairs were reviewed by a separate super committee, as we called them, and they, if they submitted papers to their own events, then they were reviewed by outside reviewers. So we had 497 submissions in various categories. As you know, we have a few of these categories. We have regular papers, which are then divided into full and short papers. These are regular submissions. Under the same call, for regular papers, we also accept submissions of so-called communication papers. And we also wanted to have a category called dissemination papers, but this didn't quite happen, as far as I know. Am I right, Marcin? So we didn't get any dissemination papers. Dissemination we understood to be, there are many EU projects, for example, which have a requirement to disseminate results of the research they do. And they need to go to places to present dissemination papers, and we hope really to attract this kind of groups as well. So if you didn't know that we have this category of papers, please consider for next year. Regular papers are divided into original contribution papers and experience evaluation papers, and they are divided into full and short. As I said, both full and short papers are published then by IEEE Explore. Then we have a separate call called position papers, and this is a very important category to us, but not necessarily that important for you guys, because we didn't have that many position papers as we wanted to have. And we think it's a very important category, really. We divide position papers into challenge papers and emerging research papers. And frankly, we are expecting that position papers are submitted by people who are well-known experts in the area, who just have some, not just knowledge, but wisdom, and they would like to share this wisdom with us. So it's a different category to regular hard work, delta research papers. And we would like to have more of them, and they can be submitted a bit later. We have a separate call for them. Okay, some people, some cynics may say that it doesn't matter what you do, it does matter who does it. And hello. Yeah, Marcin said before that we are starting at 11:30. Maybe that is what he told you. And we had to ask him to check, and it happened to be 11. It's Paweł Trivik, okay, which is a chair really of this year FedCSiS. Okay, so big round of applause. We'll make him talk later. We'll make him talk later. Coming back to what I just said, it doesn't matter what you do, it matters who does it. And in this sense, what is critically important is who is indexing us. I know that you guys are coming from so many different countries, as you can see, and every country and even organizations, universities in various countries have their own rules, which conferences are important, which conferences get money to travel money, and so on. And this is really quite different in various places. So Thomson Web of Science was very important. It is still very important, but after the change of ownership, Scopus becomes more important in many countries. So we submit IEEE proceedings to all of these indexing bodies, and with quite a great deal of success. It matters who is ranking us. So various conferences get some, there are organizations who rank conferences. It happens one of the important one is Australian core ranking, and many of you heard about it. I know that, for example, delegates from South America, they are very interested in what kind of ranking, core ranking a conference gets, whether it's A, B, or C, for example. They can get financed if the conference is in the B category in this core ranking, but not if it is in C ranking. Now with FedCSiS there is an issue here, because FedCSiS is a multi-conference, so core does not quite know what to do with us, but then there are separate events, and you could, as event chairs, many of you here are event chairs, could be submitting directly your event to core to simply get people from these countries and places which recognize core as an important ranking facility. Who is measuring us? What kind of metrics we get? It's Scopus metrics, Index Copernicus metrics. You've got information on the website how we stack up in this kind of metrics. Who is quoting our papers? Who is publishing us? IEEE Explore is certainly a very well recognized publishing forum. Do we publish unpresented papers? We pride ourselves that we don't. Really, if somebody submits a paper, gets accepted, but doesn't come to the conference, this conference is not a journal, doesn't come to the conference, does not present the research personally, then these papers are not published eventually. Then, and the bottom line is, what is the acceptance rate for all these indexes, measurements, rankings? You know, all of these bodies look at the acceptance rate. And I know that many of you are quite, many of event chairs, because you come and talk to us and you say, listen, I have lost many friends because of these acceptance rates. You know, they submitted papers, and we know they are good papers, but at the end of the day, we have to reject these papers. So we are losing friends. Well, if your friends do not understand the principle like that, then they should not be your friends, in my view. Acceptance rate is really something which is concrete. We are, as you can see, we are going downwards here, which means better. And currently we have 19.5, 20% acceptance rate for full papers. Because this is what, you know, all these various organizations want from us. Acceptance rates for full papers. And what is also important is who are the keynotes. It turns out that this is also an issue which is considered both by you guys who are submitting papers, because frequently the fact that these are the keynotes make you to submit, because you know, okay, if these guys wanted to come to the conference and present a keynote, then it must be a good conference, but also by the organizations which send you to conferences. Many of them would be asking at the universities about the keynotes. So we have excellent set of keynotes in here. I got it here as well. So covering the whole spectrum of FedCSiS from information systems to computer science and computer engineering, as you can see from the titles. And just after this opening session, we'll have two of these keynotes, Jan Witek and Zbigniew Michalewicz. And then tomorrow we have Giancarlo Guisardi and Petr Paleński. And then on Wednesday, Marian Mernik. And that's everything from me.
Okay, now I'm taking over and I will be talking to you about mundane details. But before I do, our finally arriving at the moment, you know, everybody recognizes that he arrived because everybody saw him coming. So this is our dean, our generous host, Professor Tvrdik, and he's gonna say a few words.
Hello, apologize please my late coming to this event due to the heavy multitasking with the obligations of the Dean on Monday after holidays. Sorry for that. Anyway, I am very happy that I can welcome you at the premises of the Faculty of Information Technology, Czech Technical University in Prague, in this new building. We are in the main campus of CTU, Davice campus, where are 5 faculties located, together with us, Faculty of Architecture here, Faculty of Civil Engineering. And this is a conference in computer science, so I must state that we are very proud of having the chance to organize this conference for the first time outside the borders of Poland. So the FedCSiS is something which was presented already, and our faculty is trying to organize such conferences every year. So we had such conferences twice or 3 times a year. Anyway, welcome to Prague also. The weather seems to be very nice these 2 days, so I hope you will enjoy it. And also enjoy the conference, which seems to have provide very interesting program in terms of topics and lectures. And thanks to our Polish colleagues for organizing all these details with the program and arrangement of the conference. Welcome to Prague and have a nice, important and useful conference.
Okay, so far you could have been asleep. Now it's time to wake up because those are important information. So please listen carefully because I will say it only once. Preprints. Right now in your conference bags you have USB sticks which contain preprints of conference publications. As Professor Mateusz mentioned, we will remove all papers that have not been presented, one way or another, and you will have 7 working days starting from Thursday to make minor corrections. Whatever you need, remove the author that you don't like, add another author that you like, you know, things, minor things like this. Please check your affiliations. Please check everything, because making changes to a paper that was already submitted to IEEE, not good. So, preprints on the stick. If your stick doesn't work, if the USB doesn't work, go to the registration desk and you will get a new one. After 10 days, final version of publications will be posted on the conference website and the proceedings will be submitted to the IEEE for inclusion in the digital library. Now, we are living in a strange world. Professor Mateusz already mentioned something about indexing, about all kinds of bibliometrics. Guys, I don't like it, but this is the world that our authorities put us in. So there is only one thing I can advise you. You want your work being recognized you have to cite work which is published in this edition and previous editions of the FedCSiS conference. I mean, you may say, well, you are telling us to cheat. No, I'm not telling you to cheat. I am telling you to adapt to the world we are living in. Because if we don't adapt, we will be eliminated. So, ask your colleagues to cite FedCSiS. Ask your friends to cite FedCSiS, your work and other people's work. Because as we get more citations, all indexing bodies will be looking more favorably at us. I'm sorry, this is the world, the way it is. Event chairs, please remember about reports. Bring your reports back to the registration desk. In your bags, you have CDs from the concert, from this conference from last year, because FedCSiS is not only a conference, it's also a recording studio. FedCSiS Records Volume 4 is available to you in your conference bag. Check it out, check the music, and if the CD doesn't work, go to the reception desk. By the way, if you have any problems, go to the reception desk, because there is an ample team who will help you solve all the problems. I'm not sure about world peace and the question of Kim Jong-un in North Korea. I'm not sure if they can solve this problem, but we will ask them and we will see what they will do. Okay, photo gallery is already available at the conference website. Check it out, find yourself, enjoy. By the way, in some photographs, we are placing strange objects which are not originally there. And at the end, we will have, after the conference, we will have little competition. Find all loonies in the gallery photographs. You need to be very careful, and there will be an award for the winner who finds all loonies in all photographs where they were placed. If you need certificate of attendance, we are ecologically friendly, we are trying not to kill trees, so we are not printing pieces of paper that for my majority of you may be immediately thrown into the waste basket. But if your organization requires you to bring certificate of attendance, go to the reception desk. Now, listen very carefully about tonight's event. Tonight, buses will leave from this place at 7:30, and we are going to 7:10. Oh, sorry, 7:10. Okay, wake up, 7:10. So 7:10, buses are leaving, and when they are gone, you have to walk there. So we are going to be in the old water treatment plant, which is one of the, historically speaking, one of the oldest water treatment plants in the world. And we will have reception, we will have a concert, which we are likely to be recording, and probably FedCSiS Records Volume 5 will be available next year. What is important? You cannot have everybody going into the water treatment plant together. So there are groups, and you should, please do, go to the reception desk and register for a specific group. They have the description. There will be starting times for individual groups, and you will be able to see how sewage was treated in late 1800s, so like 130 years ago or so. It's very interesting, and by the way, don't worry, it doesn't smell, okay? It doesn't work, so we will not expose you to smell of old sewage, okay? By the way, banquet. Banquet is in the next faculty, so in the next building, and there will be door open, so you will be able to walk from here to the banquet hall. You will be also able to walk from the inside, but it's on this campus. Next building is where the banquet will take place. Okay? During the banquet, we will have all the awards and recognitions and other fun things like this. As I said, once more, Rudolf at the reception desk and all the people from the reception desk are there to help you with any needs you have about Prague and vicinity. And now I am particularly proud to introduce to you the chair of next year FedCSiS. And my pride is because first he is from my university. He got master's degree a few years after I did mine. In the same faculty. He's from the same town. He lives just outside of Poznań, in the place where I also live from time to time. And, ladies and gentlemen, how often you have a chance to meet a true world champion in competitive sport? I mean, it is not a very usual occurrence. Well, let me introduce to you Professor Krzysztof Jasem, who is currently world champion in competitive team bridge playing.
Thank you, Marcin. I would prefer to be a world champion in basketball. Sorry.
It's more money, yeah.
So I am the chairman of the next conference that will be held in Poznań. You can see the date from 9th to 12th of September next year. The dates are very important and they are selected very carefully by us because there are no Poznań fairs at that time. It is very important because in the times when there are fairs, there are traffics and you cannot find a decent room in a hotel. But look, this is from 9 to 12, and so this is a perfect date. There will be no fairs. And also, the weather, I'll just check the weather for next year. Oh, it says it will be sunny, very sunny, all 4 days. Check. The weather forecast, the weather conditions are perfect for an IT conference. That's what it says. Okay, so this is really a good date. And, these two pictures show the faculties. On the left, you can see, in fact, on the left, you can see the faculty of mathematics and computer science. This is where I work. And, well, doesn't it look beautiful? So our university, our faculty would be very happy to host us next year. But unfortunately, the location is not perfect. It is 20 minutes or 10 kilometers from the center of the city. So we'll accept the hospitality of Faculty of Law and Administration, which you can see here. It is a very modern building, and what is very, very important, it is a walking distance from the city center, from the old market. And before, you can see the maps on the left. On the left, there is our faculty. On the right, walking distance to the old square. Well, when I was invited here, Marcin and Maria told me that next year we must be better than this year in at least one aspect. So when I came here, I learned that in order to get to the old city from here, you must take an underground. In Poznań, you don't have to take an underground. There is no underground in Poznań, in fact. But you can do it on foot. Well, and here are some attractions of Poznań. So there are some photos. There are more attractions in the leaflets that you hopefully get from the reception desk. Well, the most known attraction of Poznań is Poznań goats. Every day at 12 o'clock sharp, the two goats which show themselves in the town hall, they meet their horns like this, and they say that it is very attractive. So every day we stop our conference at 10:30, so that we can walk to see them, and we restart at 2 o'clock. Okay, just kidding. Okay, so these are some other attractions. So welcome you to Poznań next year. Thank you.
And the conference is officially open. Yes, we have this weird thing that we start earlier and we need to get ready to open it. So we have all the activities from yesterday and this morning. Now the conference is officially open. 5-minute break to arrange the first keynote speaker, and in 5 minutes, the first keynote will start, okay? Thank you all and enjoy the conference.